Hey guys, it's Dave Miller, and you're watching Cricket Fanatic magazine.
Hey guys, Khalid from Cricket Fanatics magazine here, and I'm back with Alasdair once again for our weekly show. But you know what to do before you get started. Just give us a subscribe, press the notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube, and obviously share and comment on Facebook. So today's topic, this last week's topic, I think this is going to be a compilation of everything in South African cricket at the moment. So Alasdair, it's been a while since we spoke about everything that has happened. South Africa obviously lost the series quite badly against England. After starting off quite strong in Centurion, a lot of people said no, that was because England was sick after those Enterprise Viennas. They say it's a joke going around. Don't take that seriously. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, first let's talk about this harder test series that South Africa had to witness. For me, it was quite puzzling to see that the way we capitulated, and it's a word that the English journalists love to use, and this is exactly what happened to the South Africans.
Yeah, look, well, firstly on my side, I actually want to say that you were right from the start 6 months ago when I kind of argued that we should have kept with some of the old heads, had Faf as captain, because I really felt that we had a chance of beating England. But maybe we should have gone with the youth, because let's go straight into the test series. Worst defeat against England since 1913. First defeat against England in 1957. We haven't never lost to England since readmission at Newlands. We've got a fantastic record on Newlands. I thought that we could rely on that going in with 1-0. When we last spoke, it was halfway through the series. Yeah. And I really believe we had a chance. But what came out in both test matches is that key performances at key moments didn't happen for South Africa. Yeah. Whereas England, you had guys that, look, this is not the best England side that's come here in the last 30 years. I firmly believe that. I just think that guys didn't stand up when they needed to. And when a partnership was going, the ball was thrown to Stokes, and he took a key wicket. You know, he wasn't the strike bowler at all moments, but when England needed a wicket, he came and he got it.
So what I want to talk to you about as well is, you obviously spoke about Temba Bavuma coming back into the side. And we differed on it. I thought that Zubair Hamza should get an extended run. What I looked at when I looked at that lineup is that the way South Africa approached it and the way England approached it with the youngsters. If you look at England, a guy like Ollie Pope, who's quite an upcoming batsman in England at the moment, young, he's exciting, he plays a very attacking type of game, but he is a top order batsman. But what England did with him is they protected him by putting him at number 6. So when they dropped Zubair Hamza, I thought that Temba will take that as responsibility as a senior in the side and bat at number 3. But instead he batted at number 6 and they moved Rassie up the order. It worked out because Rassie got a great score. But why couldn't they just protect Zubair Hamza and put him at number 6? What do you think about that topic? I don't know.
Look, it's a tough one because I think Zubair Hamza, his confidence levels were shot. He never really got a chance to get going, and the one time he did was the first innings of the first test, and he was on track to get quite a big score. But there wasn't enough support, and wickets were falling around, or his wicket fell. So to put him in at number 6 when the emotive issue, there's a wicket right now.
There's a wicket right now. Sorry guys, I forgot to tell you that we had the first ODI at Newlands. So wicket just fell now at the moment, so sorry for all the noise.
The thing is that Temba Bavuma issue was an emotive one. It's a one, Temba wants to be treated as a cricketer, not a black player. And that's the whole kind of fury on social media and where it's at. Transformation is needed. We are struggling to have a batsman of that colour playing. And it probably worked out well, but it shouldn't have played out the way it did. Yeah. And don't take anything away from Hamza. He's got loads of potential. I just felt his confidence was shot, and we just saw guys just didn't perform when they needed to.
So I listened to the English, and I saw what they did kind of at training. it's almost like they prepared for Hamza. Bowling short deliveries down the leg. They knew that he had, they knew that that was maybe a weak point for him, and obviously you can say that the domestic cricket level they should iron that out. But for me, it's a bit different when the guys are bowling 150 at you consistently.
True.
And they're bowling on the same spot consistently. How do you really prepare for that? I don't think they knew that Hamza had that problem at domestic, because he never had that problem at domestic level, because the people don't bowl 150 in domestic cricket. I mean, there's one or two maybe. Gerald Kosia is one of the few. Pato is probably one of the fastest bowlers in domestic cricket, and he doesn't really reach that numbers. So it's quite tricky for them to have picked that out. But I was hoping that when he comes into the national setup that they'll pick up that's maybe a weakness for him.
But just bear in mind that it's far easier to attack a batsman's weakness when they're far more inexperienced. And given that the team were going through that stage, there wasn't a lot of swagger in any of the guys' steps.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a guy like Rassie van der Dussen was able to block everything out. He should have got 100. I mean, it still blows my mind that we didn't get one test 100. And that's, you know, when we talk about what went wrong, that's one of the main roots kind of reasons why we didn't do well. We didn't score enough runs when we needed to. Our bowling is fine. There's nothing wrong with our bowling.
Exactly. So
they went a bit AWOL at the Wanderers for that last wicket stand, and it you know, often it's very hard to bowl a tail ender because you don't know what he's going to do. So it's actually harder to set a field to that type of thing when you have an established batsman or a top order. You know more or less what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. So there were times when maybe we could have, but root cause was the batting.
it's very important that he actually mentioned that, guys, that it's a batting that South Africa, there's an issue with South Africa. So this leads me into the next major topic of this week, the Kolpaks. So we have an interview or a press conference with Ashwell Prince. You can find it on our site. It is over there. Where he talks about the Kolpak signings and whether they should come back to South African cricket. And also he speaks about, obviously, David Bedingham. He's left. It's not a Kolpak signing because he hasn't played for the country, but he signed like an ancestral passport and etc. And obviously he can now play there as a local player, not as an overseas player. And I don't know exactly if it's 1 or 2 years. I need to still find that out. But the Kolpak signings. So I had an interview with Radio 702.
Yes.
And they asked me about the Kolpaks and whether we should bring them back. I wrote a column that I got a lot of stick for, where my opinion is that our batting is the issue, and I can't find any Kolpak signings. There might be overseas players, but I don't see any Kolpak signings that can come into the South African side and improve that top three. I think that domestically, that we have the talent here that we need to work with, because when you look at the Kolpak signings, it's Riley Lusso, Stian van Zyl, Heino Kuhn, maybe Dan Bias in the middle order, those guys. But I don't think they will improve much that we have here. I think we have the talent over here. Because seeing as the new guys that came in, they've all performed. Peter Malanis performed reasonably well. Rassie van der Dussen, reasonably well. So the problems don't really lie with the domestic cricket, I think, the levels. I think it's our senior players that have failed us. From a bowling perspective, maybe Kyle Abbott being here would have made a difference.
3 guys. Kyle Abbott, Dwan Olivia, and obviously I'd still like to say Simon Harmer. But I'm just saying they would have been in the mix.
Yeah.
But the key points that I took from your article was that you focused mainly on the batsman.
Yeah.
And Riley Rousseau would probably be the only one that springs to mind, but it's not the symptom of the Kolpaks for me is the domestic level. So you're not having the Simon Harmer doing his thing, your Dwan Olivia bowling 150 when he can on the right surface and pitching that short ball at a Hamza. That I agree with. That's the kind of the whole chicken and egg theory. Do you see?
Of course.
But I can't say that just throw a few Kolpaks in and these guys in the field are suddenly going to play better. The symptom has been in the last few years. We're only seeing now the results of what has happened, even during the Otis era where it was just focused on 5 bowlers. It didn't really put focus on the batsmen, and they relied on guys like AB, etc. And guys were in form then.
Yeah.
Timber was in form, AB, Faf, they were all in form. Elgar was in form. Elgar scored 100 against Australia, that one Sandpaper Gate. There were guys that scored runs. It's almost the exact same team, just not there, not batting. So I agreed with the article 100%. But domestically...
So another wicket falls again, guys. So I think that was Supamla took the catch. So it's nice to see when the ODI side that we have these youngsters in the squad, etc. But we'll get to that a little bit later. I know this video is a bit long, but we need to catch up and really talk about these things. So I agree with you. Kolpaks will improve the domestic level. Definitely. If they come back into the domestic game, they'll improve the domestic level. Let's move on from this because Test cricket in South Africa, I think it's something that is bothering me, and I think it needs to be.
One more thing, just with Kolpak. Why isn't there a deal that's cut with maybe the clubs in the county circuit to have our guys come over and play here for 2-3 months? I mean, it's not hot in England during our summer. Why don't they just come here for 2 months, keep themselves in shape, so those Kolpak guys can still give back on a domestic level? Somehow a deal is made, because they're not doing anything unless some of them playing T20 leagues around the world. That's just my 5 cents.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
I mean, some of them do. Huddersfield United plays for the Titans, etc. Some of them do come down, and so I think it's a choice for them.
It's a choice, yeah.
But anyway, so I want to move on from this now and talk about a little bit about how South Africa can improve the longer formats. So my assessment of it is that our youngsters aren't playing enough long format cricket. So from school level, they're not really playing longer format cricket. If you look at the places like the countries that are actually thriving in Test cricket, it's like the likes of India, the likes of England. They're thriving in Test cricket at the moment, and the reasons for that is because they play longer format cricket from a young age. If you look at the counties, there's about 18 counties. There's 2 divisions, there's second division and the first division. A lot of the youngsters that are at school level, they'll play for the club, so they'll play some county cricket for the second division, and they'll actually occupy the crease and learn what it takes from a mental capacity to stand at the crease and occupy the crease.
And play red ball cricket.
Yes, and in India, the same thing, the Ranji Trophy. You'll see 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds playing in that tournament. And there's like 30 teams in that tournament. So I think the best thing to improve this is probably to drop to 12 franchises or to drop to 12 provinces and allow obviously more opportunities for youngsters to play. And I think that maybe if they make an A and B team, that would be even better. So down the line, but I mean, what is your take on how do we improve? Because I mean, I spoke to Michael Holding. Michael Holding said that the problem is that the basics. It's all about the basics. And how these people, the South Africans need to learn their basics first. A guy like Ollie Pope can play like that in Test cricket because his basics is right. But what's your take on that? How do we improve Test cricket in this country?
So it's a double-edged sword for me, because a lot of youngsters don't want to stand out once they finish school. They don't want to play 2-day, 3-day. They want to go out and party, have fun with their mates. They've been doing that out through their high school career, playing all the weekends. So you tend to lose guys because they don't want to play for 2-3 days. They don't want to play every weekend. The ones that really are motivated to do it want to. So the T20s helped keep a lot of those players, and they're coming through. But in saying that, we want to develop a culture, let's say, of red ball cricket being played, where the views that you bring up there are important. For me, it would be good to involve as much youth as you can, earmark a few of them and try and get them into some sort of model that they have in England. In England, sometimes you can play 5 of the 7 days of a week of cricket. Obviously, those young guys that are at school come in and play on the weekend, so you fill that up. So, but then you have a thing is you're overlapping with a very elite school system, which schoolboy cricket in South Africa is at a phenomenally high level.
Yeah.
And there's only one Saturday a week.
Yeah.
There's only one Sunday a week. So how to balance that is a big thing. But my thing is capture the guys that are 19, 20, 21 that have left school and keep them in the system. Because many times I've met guys that played first team cricket. 2-3 years later down the line, they don't even play anymore. They've got kit that's worth 80K. They were brilliant at school, but they want to go out jolling with their mates. They've done school for 12 years. It's how we keep those guys and identify them and keep them in a system of sorts, or have a competition of sorts, maybe a varsity cup, something like that. But keep something going there. But yeah, it's a tricky thing, because the model is still the same that it's been 10, 20, 30 years ago. It's just that a lot of guys are leaving, and obviously domestic competition level is suffering as a result.
So finally, guys, the last topic I want to talk about is Boucher and his coaching staff. Personally, I think that we should give them more time. I mean, you can't really count for them right now in their first series that they played. They haven't really had much time with the squad. The main positive for me is the players that they've picked. Especially in this ODI side, we've got a lot of youngsters. Verena's getting an opportunity at international level. Hopefully play some of these ODIs. We've got a guy like Yanaman Malame's getting an opportunity. Hopefully he plays some games. Ruto Sapamla, he's getting his debut against England over here in the first test, first ODI at Newlands. We've got a guy like Bjorn Fortuyn that's in the mix. So their selection, I think, is thinking about the future, and I think that's the main positive for me, is that those are the guys that they are picking, and the guys that we have been talking about for so many years are getting picked now in and put in the setup. What's your thought on Boucher, Jacques Kallis, Charles Langeveld, Justin Ontong, Enoch Nonku?
All perfect choice. I still think that it's the right choice. It's going to take time. The stumbling block was the test series. I allude back to what you said a few months ago, is let's go for the youth. The ODI side is the perfect vehicle to push that through. It's good to see that the guys haven't gone and thought, well, we need to beat England, let's pick our best side available, or give the guys, experienced guys, more of an opportunity. I think having these youngsters in the squad, a lot of them will take a lot from this and maybe translate it into the test arena later down the line. My only disturbing thing is we've had this brain fart against England. We're only going to play West Indies in July, 2 tests. With the World Championship it works. If it's a 2-test series, you get more points for winning 1 test. So the best thing, the opportunity now, is to nail it down, get a decent team, beat the Windies 2-0, because it'll improve our ranking in that test championship. Because the less tests you play in a series, the more points you win for a test. That's how it works. If you play 4 tests, it's less points than playing in a 2-test series. But for me, it's still far away. So these guys don't have any time to now work on the wrongs there. They have to look forward here, play the white ball cricket, use ODI as a springboard for that test series. And obviously we've got the inaugural T20 World Cup, because they've changed their name. It's a big thing at later on this year, and that's a focus that Boucher's there. They definitely have the skills and the brains trust to select the right team and get them mentally ready. I just feel that mentally our team is not there anymore, and maybe look at maybe getting a mental coach or someone there. And fitness, I've seen so many players that just fitness levels aren't that high in the domestic level. See a lot of guys that are quite overweight, so maybe a couple of army drill sergeants to get the guys in place. But fitness is key. If you guys have them running an optimal 100% fitness, you can have a pretty sharp team. Muscle memory, all those type of things. Responding to coaching, it's there. There's the right brains to trust. If you marry it with maybe 1 or 2 mental guys and a fitness coach, you might be onto a winning formula.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw with that camp that happened recently with Tabare Shamsi, Sanda Magala, Lungi Ngidi, and John Smuts went on this camp to obviously lose some weight and to get some of them fit. They've changed their diet plans, etc. So that's some good moves from the coaching staff. Thanks, Alasdair.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. And you know what to do. We would like you to subscribe and give your comments in the comment section below, of course. We'd like to hear your thoughts, man. Let's debate about this. This is a platform for you guys. Our opinions, I'm not saying that our opinions are right, your opinions are wrong, your opinions are right, our opinions are wrong. Let's just all have a conversation about this and build a community together. So don't forget to subscribe to our weekly magazine. All we need is your email address and your name. You can do that on our website. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you press the notification bell for all notifications of our latest videos. Obviously, like, share, and comment, etc. So, guys, we'll catch you again some other time. I know we call this the weekly show. Me and Alasdair are going to give you as much content as we can in the next coming weeks. So, thanks, guys.